he didn't do anything to help the plot. He was just there fucking things up and pissing everybody. He was like a distraction from what was really going on. He was only there to keep the kids interested.
Because he's a Sith Lord, right?
Supposedly, that's the theory.
Well, did you ever see the videos with him, like, using the Force against, like, when Liam Neeson or Qui-Gon Jinn, whatever you want to call him,
right?
He was talking to Padme when they were outside of the parts store, when they were trying to get parts for their ship or whatever.
Wasn't
and
that
he's like, the Queen trusts my judgment, Padme. You should too. If you look in the background of him saying that, you can see Jar Jar's mouth moving with it. Now, that means something because, that's animated in there. It's not like the person mistakes.
I didn't know about that, but I do think it's shocking how, like, he's such a fuck-up, and then in Episode 2, he's on, the Galactic Senate.
Yeah.
You ever see E.T.'s people in the Galactic Council?
Yeah, I did see that. That was pretty cool.
Like, cause Dylan, in E.T. when like they got him dressed up for Halloween, and he sees Yoda, he's like, home, 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 home,
Oh.
And then in like Episode 2 at the Galactic Senate, E.T.'s people are fucking there, just like in the background, like
people?
Like like the House of Representatives and the Senate and shit in the country, the Galactic Senate, like E.T.'s species is there, like clearly visible.
It's like the Avengers, so they kind of match up a little bit.
Well, it's more because like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas are good friends. Because like in a lot of the Indiana Jones shit, there's callbacks to Star Wars. Like there's a theory that Indiana Jones is just all like a carbonite fever dream from Han Solo.
Check this out.
Because one of the planes says like OBC3PO or some shit, and then on some of the like ancient artifacts, there's like an R2D2 and a C3PO there.
Right.
So there's a lot of theories on
around
that.
the internet right now about how Jar Jar Binks may actually be a Sith Master. So I decided to make this video to explain every single detail for you. So here it is. This is the completely airtight, absolutely foolproof case for why Jar Jar Binks is the most powerful Sith Master in the universe.
Another thing.
First of all, Jar Jar executes a 20-foot twisting somersault through the air that if performed by any other character, you would assume they were either a Jedi or a Sith. As we know, the Jedi themselves are inspired by Shaolin monks, and a convincing theory is that Jar Jar is based off of another traditional martial arts discipline called Zi Quan. Jar Jar almost single-handedly takes out half a droid army using moves clearly taught in Zi Quan. Zi Quan, or Drunken Fist, uses stumbling and staggering as body momentum to be deceptive, unpredictable, and to confuse opponents. And Jar Jar mysteriously is extremely efficient in killing every single time that he is in danger. And as Obi-Wan told us, there is no such thing as luck.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
In another scene, Jar Jar seems to fall from a bridge, although we have seen this done on purpose before by Jedi. And Jar Jar also falls in a completely different place than where he was dangling from. We can prove this because droids can be seen shooting at his original location, and their heads even follow him jump to the other side. Jar Jar could have used a force jump, as we've seen multiple times before by Jedi. Jar Jar is also seen using sleight-of-hand movements and Jedi mind tricks during key plot points to influence the plot and change people's minds. He even uses them when he is promoted to general, when he's promoted to senator, and while he's persuading an entire galactic senate. Along with using the Force via sleight of hand, Jar Jar is also seen in multiple scenes using Jedi mind control to influence what people say, therefore changing the outcome of important events.
The Queen wishes it. She's curious about the planet.
Jar Jar's own species are deathly afraid of him. Seems like less of a reaction to seeing the village idiot and more of a reaction to seeing somebody that you should be very afraid of. Jar Jar mocks Qui-Gon's ability to use the Force, perhaps because Qui-Gon's Force abilities pale in comparison of his own.
The Force will guide us.
Oh, Maxie bit the Force.
If you were wondering why a Sith Master would act like an idiot like Jar Jar does, it's clear that he is just fooling the Jedi so he can manipulate them into trusting him.
Yeah? Clumsy.
You were banished because you were clumsy.
He even pretends to be scared in a deleted scene where his ship is going to fall over a waterfall, even though he can jump 20 feet through the air and he can swim and breathe underwater. Jar Jar also mocks Qui-Gon behind his back and in front of Anakin, teaching Anakin early to disrespect Jedi authority. Jar Jar tells Anakin, an 8-year-old boy, that Padme is hot, fanning the flames for Anakin's infatuation for Padme that is exploited later.
Pretty hot.
Jar Jar also talks to and is very interested in Padme, even before it is revealed that Padme is the real queen. Jar Jar also influences Padme's decision-making when she's at her most uncertain.
Right.
We say got a grand army.
I've decided to go back to Naboo.
Jar Jar senses that the Jedi are coming without any warnings. He could not have known in any way that they were coming, and he even walks up to the elevator seconds before the Jedi arrive, then pretends to be surprised to see them. When they're escaping Naboo, Jar Jar is the one who sabotages the hyperdrive, which forces them to land on Tatooine in the first place where they meet Anakin. Not to mention Jar Jar is the reason they keep running into Anakin. Right. Jar Jar is seen suspiciously fiddling around in the back of the ship moments before the hyperdrive mysteriously breaks. R2-D2 even notices he was doing something suspicious, so he gives him a well-deserved smack before he is forced to leave in the elevator to fix the ship's shield generator. In fact, every droid Jar Jar encounters seems to hate him and find him suspicious, and for good reason, because Jar Jar's mind control doesn't work on droids.
Right. You know, I find that Jar Jar creature to be a little odd. Quite right. He's very odd indeed.
So why did George Lucas create this devious Gungan character? Well, here's George Lucas talking about Yoda in a documentary. Yoda really comes from a tradition in mythological storytelling, where the hero finds a creature on the side of the road that seems very insignificant and not very important, but who turns out to be the master wizard. And as we know, Lucas's big deal with the prequels was that they were supposed to rhyme and mirror the original trilogy in terms of narrative themes. Right. So there should be a seemingly innocent creature found at the side of the road that later reveals himself to be the master wizard in the prequels. Don't forget, Yoda was also strangely annoying and dumb until he was revealed to be the most powerful Jedi in the universe.
I love that part.
So Jar Jar was supposed to reveal himself as the most powerful Sith in the universe, and Yoda was supposed to duel with his literal dark side nemesis and mythological equivalent at the end of Attack of the Clones.
Oh, I know, but
not
still,
the meaningless, boring human Count Dooku who was randomly and hastily written in to cover plot holes when Lucas chickened out and decided not to reveal Jar Jar's powers because of the horrible backlash by the Star Wars community. Lucas even said Jar Jar is the key to all of this.
Jar Jar is the key to all this. If we get Jar Jar working.
Also, the actor who played Jar Jar even tweeted, "I will say this, it feels good when the hidden meaning behind the work is seen, no matter how long it takes." Hashtag The Phantom Menace. Not only is Jar Jar a Sith, but it's very possible that he may not just be working with Palpatine, but possibly the Sith Master above Palpatine, and Palpatine is really the apprentice and pawn of Jar Jar. You may not have noticed, but Jar Jar follows Palpatine everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Even after Qui-Gon's funeral, seconds after Yoda explains how there's always two Siths, a Sith Master and an apprentice, Jar Jar is seen standing right beside Palpatine before he's even supposed to know who Palpatine is. Not to mention that Jar Jar and Palpatine are from the same planet. Out of the millions of planets in the galaxy, Jar Jar and Palpatine both are from Naboo. Jar Jar even convinces Padme to promote him to senator. And Jar Jar is the one who convinces the entire Galactic Senate to abandon democracy and give Emperor Palpatine full control. If it wasn't for Jar Jar, Palpatine would have never risen to power in the first place. The actor who voiced Jar Jar even explains a deleted scene where Palpatine and Jar Jar walk in secret and Palpatine thanks Jar Jar for putting him in power. He also says that George Lucas made big changes in the prequels because of backlash. Also, whenever you think a Sith is the master, you always find out later on that there was always somebody controlling the Sith. You think Darth Vader is the Sith master, and then it's revealed that Darth Sidious is actually the Sith Master. You think Darth Maul is it, but then it's revealed that Palpatine was actually the mastermind. Even Padme had a decoy queen, and Padme just pretended to be her servant, just in case there was an assassination attempt on the queen. Sound familiar? So from this we can conclude that the one behind the scenes that was controlling everything, the real Phantom Menace, the real Sith Master, was Jar Jar Binks all along.
See, well, J.J. Abrams equals Jar Jar. That's funny. But that just proves even more how big of a piece of shit fucking Jar Jar Binks is.
Yeah. See, I don't know if, like, you know, it sounds convincing.
It is
but
convincing.
Also, like, people have a lot of time on their hands to notice, like, small things like that.
I mean, there's a lot of fucking theories that come with all this shit. But, I mean, it does go to show that, like, you know, in Star Wars, it is literally the yin-yang. The light side cannot exist without the dark side, and the dark side cannot exist without the light. That's exactly how shit goes.
Right.
There will always be a battle for power from the good and evil, just like there is in the world right now. Good cannot exist without evil, because if there was no evil, how could they be good?
Right.
You know?
Fire and water.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
even on the yin-yang, you know, there's a black dot and the white, and there's a white dot and the black. They can't exist without each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how shit works.
Heads and tails.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the balance of shit. Like, that's how it fucking, you know, functions and shit, you know?
Right.
I don't know, dude. Man, I fucking hate Jar Jar Binks, and now I hate him even fucking more. You ever watch Fanboys, though?
No.
That's a fucking great movie, man. They fucking go to break into Luke Skywalker Ranch to watch the Phantom Menace before everybody else, because their fucking homeboys dying of fucking leukemia or some shit.
Oh, you said Phantom Menace?
Fanboys.
Okay, did you...
Oh, yeah,
was that
they
The
break...
Force Awakens, or was that a...
No, this came out, like, before Episode 1 did, or around the same time.
Okay, because there was that one dude that had, like really high, severe cancer that...
Oh, no,
didn't
no,
make it to The Force
this
Awakens,
is a
but-
movie. This isn't real life.
Because he got to...
Yeah, he got to see Episode 7 before
that was pretty
everybody.
cool.
That
'Cause
was
he
really cool.
He ended up dying before it came out, so I was glad he got to do that.
Oh, yeah, me too. Because seriously, like, even though it pissed me off, you know, just a little bit that he gets to see it before everybody else, he definitely deserved it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just frustrating that someone else gets to see it before everybody else, you know?
I'm glad he did, though.
I mean, that is one of the main reasons, you know, I want to get into film industry, because I'd love to know what happens before everybody else and just hold that against them. Like, you know, I know what's going to happen.
What do you mean, like a film critic, or...?
Like, even a fucking, you know, editor or some shit, you know? Someone that knows how the fucking movie goes.
Someone that
Before
write
most
reviews
people.
on the movies and stuff?
Exactly,
Yeah.
something like that. Getting to see the movie, you know, a week, 2 weeks, month, years, whatever. I'd love to fucking, you know, read a script before, you know, anybody else type shit.
Right.
I'd love to see where it's headed. Because, you know, a lot of the shit that they delete is stupid important.
Yeah, then you find out later on in the
Exactly.
deleted scenes and stuff.
Like, you hear about how, what is it, Emperor Snoke? Or whatever, in Episode 7, the big motherfucking hologram, dude.
Oh, Snoke, yeah.
Yeah, how he's got that fucking gash on his eye just like Vader did.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's quite possible.
I don't think it's Vader, but...
Snoke, well, because they were saying, you know, Palpatine's, you know, the dude who taught him was the only one who could resurrect himself and shit, and he talks about that in the original trilogy.
Right.
So since, you know, Lucas decided in the release to change dude at the end into Hayden Christensen as Anakin, that it is quite possible that Anakin died, but that Vader's evil was so strong that it resurrected itself into Snoke. It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's plausible, I should say. It's plausible. It could happen.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. We only got to wait, what, 4 more years?
Something like that, dude. I'm still excited for Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's going to be a good movie.
Because I'm still, like, all the trailers and shit.
Quinn.
Well, of course. Well, like, all the trailers still don't talk too much about the Joker's part of the movie. He's barely in any of the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Affleck's in it as Batman, you know? There's little shit that don't know why they're there. I'm sure Batman's in there to fucking stop all these motherfuckers because, you know, they're the bad guys.
Right.
but I have a feeling that he's going to help him at some point. Because they're only out to do the government's fucking bidding.
Which one you talking